Yes, sir.
We're all smiles.
Charlie. now I can sleep. I've not slept in.
Congratulations to you.
Thank you. I've not slept in 8 years, almost 8 years.
Is it right to greet you at your zoo?
Yeah, exactly. And it's Zuzabo.
All right, we have Bullgod here, and also our special guest for today.
Honorable.
He carved a niche for himself in the early 2000s with political and national songs, songs talking about political issues. Now, in the creative industry, he even did creative writing for a blog. He's done comedy as well before, and now he is going to Parliament. He's already in Parliament.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Member of Parliament elect for Gumwa Central Constituency in the person of Kwame Dadzie, also known as A+.
When you're busy.
Why are you busy?
No, why are you busy, my brother? A+, welcome to the show. And how do you feel, getting this new position?
Excited, thankful, I'm happy. Yeah.
All right. So we want to know, you see, when we talk about Gumwa Central, what are the areas?
Okay, so Gumwa Central starts from where Apostle Kojo Safo has his plant, assembly plant. That's Gumwa Impota. That's where our Honorable Chief Justice is from.
Oh, okay.
That's where Kwabna comes from.
Oh, really?
From Impota. Yeah. So Gumwa Central starts from Impota. It goes all the way to Gumwa Cebu, to Pomaze, where we had Pomaze Poultry Farm, to Chapes, Nyekwaze. That's on the way to Aguna Swedro, Ogwa Chrome, Awomro, Abonyi, Abasa, Insuayim, Ayinsuaze. It goes all the way to Aguna Kwamkrom. That's the last town.
Yeah, I know that.
Then you enter Aguna Swedro, which is in Aguna East also. When you turn left, then you come to Aboso, you come to Bensu, Ekrofo, Ekropon, Besanze, Achianse. Afranse is the district capital.
Yeah.
When you get to Afranse, there is Akwemu, there is Kwame Dadzie, there is Abamkwem, there's Fantiamwa.
Wow.
These are villages around Kwame Dadzie area. Then when you come from Afranse, you go to Ofaso, Anyafitem, you come back, you go to Obuase, Jaman, Esikuma, Lome.
Hey,
So
Gumwa Lome.
Yeah, Gumwa Lome. Yeah. You know Gumwa, so you have yeah, so Gumwa German is like Germany, Gumwa France is like France.
No, I know there's even Gumwa Kumase.
Yeah, there's Gumwa Kumase, there's Gumwa Ogwa, yes.
Gumwa Onyawonsu. I know all those people. That's my
You are from Simbrofo.
Yes, Simbrofo.
That's Gumwa West.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, these are the areas that make up Gumwa Central. Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Now, looking at the demography, what is the major occupation of the people? Farming.
Yeah.
Wow. Now, did you know you were going to win? Were you hopeful?
Yes.
Very.
When I announced that I had won, in fact, I collated my results even before
before
the EC.
We saw it.
I collated my results before the EC. I had an app. I had 226 polling agents in the various polling stations. Everybody had a smartphone with the app on it. I've installed Starlink's internet around the constituency, so I knew exactly what was on the ground.
Okay.
About 40 minutes after polls closed, I knew exactly what was coming out, because we strategized in such a way that we are going to collate their strongholds first. So I knew that my opponent, the NDC candidate, is strong in Osamkrom, Mangwase, Brofiedu, these three. So I wanted to know what he's getting there.
Okay.
And if he's beating me with not less than 10, if he's not beating me with more than 70% of the votes, he has lost. I knew he's out. I knew that my other opponent, the MPP candidate, is strong in
She's the incumbent, right?
Yeah, she's the incumbent. She's strong in Israel, in Jokwa, in Kwame and Manso. So when I got the result from Manso and I was beating her by like 80%, I know I was down. Then we came to Kwame and she was beating me by just about 10%. Jokwa, we were doing like 50-50. I knew it was over, because for the first time in the history of Gomwa Central, even the MPP as a big party, they have done everything that is humanly possible. They have never won Gomwa or Boase. There are 6 polling stations I won in Gomwa Boase. In the district capital, Gomwa France, I won the 8 polling stations. I knew that one of her strongholds is Achanse. Besides, I beat her there. I beat her in Benso, which is a strong MPP community. I beat her in Benso. So that Abia stretch, I knew that the election was over. There was nothing she could do. And I knew that NDC was strong in Obuase, Esukuma, and German. Okay. And I won every polling station in Esukuma. I beat them in Obuase. I beat them in German. The woman comes from Lome. And that was where the problem was. I knew that because she comes from Lome, they will vote. But in Lome, she beat me with.
You mean Gomwa Lome?
Yeah, Gomwa Lome.
Yes.
That's where she comes from. Yeah. And in one polling station, she beat me with about 13 votes. And so the margin was not huge. And in where I come from, Gomwa Sebu, I beat her like 85% in all the polling stations. So there are places where I get 200 and sometimes she gets 19. So
what was your trick or your secret, if you like?
I have 10 polling station executives in every polling station. I've run it for the past 2 years. I have 10 executives. NDC has 7, MPP has 5. I have 10 in every polling station. All the 200 and 123 polling stations. I have 10 executives in every polling station for the past 2 years. So I knew that even before the get go, I knew that I have over 1,230 votes. Wow. Sitting down, and I knew the MPP has. If they have 5 in each police, I know that they have 500. They have a little over 500. I knew NDC have 7 times that number. I knew what they have. So we were all going into the contest with a certain number of votes, and I knew I was ahead of them. Apart from that, the people of Ghana are different. They are not the same people who voted in 2016. They are not the same as those who voted. They are what they are looking for is totally different, and you have to understand them. One thing that worked for me is that everybody said that this guy has never been MP before. This is his first attempt to be MP, and he's given us projects. He's given us free internet. He's given us water. So what will he do when you go? You know, in our area, we have this funny saying that you know, so I think that they were looking for development. They were voting on issues.
Yeah.
The special voting, when we counted the special voting, I lost the special voting.
Oh, okay.
There were most of the security personnel, the police and the immigration and the fire, they voted for rice and oil. They were standing in queue
from who?
From the MP. They were standing in queue holding rice. You understand? And you know Kwame Plus. Next election they can decide that, oh, he went to Joy and he said we voted for rice, so we voted for him. You didn't vote for him, I still won. I don't care.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, I'm telling them the truth. You are educated people. People in the villages took these same handouts and still said, look, she brought this. We are going to vote for you. We want our road to be built. You are security. They are members of the security agencies. You have a deputy interior minister who is contesting, and she has not done. Look at where you live as prison officers. Look at police officers. You don't have bank. You don't have better residential apartments for police officers. Look at immigration where they live, and these people took 500 Ghana and rice and went and voted. But the people on the ground, the farmers, the market women, look, go to Abosu market. The women were they were ready. They said, "Men kasa yeboto abamo. Men what some war." These people, the ordinary people, the people that you call them illiterates, they knew exactly. Look, I go to during the election, I drove around, and people come here and say, "Look, but and so even before polls closed, I knew, I was very sure.
Wow.
And I posted a video of one MPP float. They were going on a float, and I didn't know that the float was happening. So I was just going on my normal campaign, but I happened to be there, and everybody wearing MPP t-shirt. They came and all the boys, yeah, that down, yeah, that down, yeah. You saw the video, yeah, that down, yeah, that down. And people came on Facebook and said, it's you that they are lying to. And the youth, if they were very sure, say, when you put and you see in an area there is no entertainment. So when you put music on a truck, people will come out and come and dance.
Yeah.
So they knew I knew that I was going to win that election.
Wow. So you didn't share monies, you didn't share rice, but we saw how much you put into your campaign.
Yeah.
And we've seen the things you've done for them, roads, Wi-Fi, and all that. Was that not expensive?
Very, very expensive. I have Starlink free internet in Asebu. I have Starlink free internet in Ekwam Krom and Jokwa. I have Starlink free internet on the Abia stretch.
Wow.
And I'm going to do more. I don't want to die and leave 100 houses. I want to spend that money on people. Then I die and I go.
Wow.
Yeah, when I make money, the only thing that comes into my head is to go and help people. I'm not interested. I want some level of comfort. So I'll drive a nice car because this whole campaign thing is very difficult. And it gets to a place I'm so tired that I wish I could just remove the seat from the car and sleep. And my campaign team will drag you. You have to go. So I need some level of comfort, for all the hard work. But I'm not this kind of person who is looking for look, you know me. I have 100 houses at East Legon. No. I want to take all that money and go and give it to the village people.
Facts.
Yeah, it's very expensive. But everything that I live for, everything that I'm doing, all the time that we were doing TPP, the People's Project, it was just about giving to underprivileged people and communities. That's it.
Talking about TPP, was the end game to form a political party with it?
No, TPP, I've said this over and over, it's just to support underprivileged people, emergency healthcare for underprivileged people, water for communities. That's it. That's all that TPP is about.
Do you intend to form a political party?
One day.
Oh, wow.
Yes. That and which won't be TPP. I don't know if it will be a political party, but I have always said to everybody that I'll contest. I went into Gomwa Central. There were NDC, there was NDC and MPP. And just like Jesus Christ came, he met the Pharisees and all these big people. He just went in and he beat them. And Christianity is what it is today. And I've said to everybody, I'll contest as president of Ghana one day. And I will beat them. And you remember in 2020, I told everybody that 2024, I will contest and I will win. And I keep telling people, what else should I tell you before you believe that? You have to start getting close to Kwame. If I'm your future president, I will win.
How many years have you given to yourself for this presidential?
I'm very sure that by 2032, all that we need is for God to bless us with life and good health. I'll contest for the presidency as an independent candidate. I will contest.
How long do you intend to be in parliament for your people?
Not more than 2 terms.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not more than 2. I will not be in parliament for more than 2 terms. And anybody who wants to...
You don't want to be like Yiti Mensah?
No. Look, I have achieved what I wanted to. I have proved the point. I told them I will go there as an independent candidate and take this. I've done it. What else? There's nothing to prove again. The only thing to prove, and where I am now, the only thing that can happen is for me to go up.
Okay.
So I can wake up tomorrow and say, the parliament, I don't want to go again. Look, I went there and I won.
Facts.
Yeah. Once we're busy, and you see, I want to tell everybody, especially young people, I want to tell them something. Don't let anybody stop you from achieving what you know that you can achieve.
Okay.
Don't let anything hold you back. There are people who don't know where Gomwa Central is, but they will come on social media and say, you won't get even 10 votes. Oh, you will lose. Oh. And these guys don't know where to, they have never been to the, they don't know anything. No. But this, look, you're going to meet people arguing. He can never win. And they don't even know where the constituency is. But when Bullgod came to the constituency one time, he said, hey, what is happening here? When Kofi Aduma entered the constituency, he said, that's a BB Koso. Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm very sure that one day that same storm will blow across the country.
055-1111-997. The WhatsApp line, if you have any question for A+, he's here with us. He is MP elect for Gumwa Central. Yeah. Honorable.
Thank you very much.
And I've been taking some of his fans. When they see me, they say, honorable. They say, yeah. They say we look alike.
You for pay royalties.
but you know, sometimes I'm scared.
Yeah, you have to.
Because me need protection.
Yeah.
By you where you did. One day when you hear Tosh, you come save your brother. All right, so we've always known you to be a musician.
Yeah.
When did you get that interest to go into politics?
Oh, when I started music, it was political songs that I was doing.
Okay.
If you
from 2000.
From 2000.
But earlier in 1998 when you released the album that didn't do so well.
Yeah, that was
that wasn't a political song, right?
That was with Hush Hush Studios. I remember. Before I did Miss Ronso na make
yes.
the politician panic, you will go, you will go about the
Sure.
time you call hip.
Yeah.
You understand? So when I did that, then I did number KBIS and this if we number KBIS, then I did Ajogon. You know, Yatuewi, Enyajo, Assembly Nasemko. So I've always been a political animal, if you like.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to have a voice to be able to reach a certain large audience. So I was considering should it be by writing, should it be by movies. Okay. Then I realized that the platform that will help me articulate whatever I want to do will be the rap music. That's what is going to work out. So I've always had this intention to be into active politics, and this is where we are. As for music, yeah, you know, be right now. That advert is as for a child, a wife and baby, yeah, you know, be right now.
Yeah, right now.
Let me take you to 19 years ago.
Yeah,
you had an interview with KSM.
Yeah.
The first time that my music came out, that was Miss Rosu and Ameke Kenyo. My dad went to a radio station in Winneba and told them not to play the music.
Really?
Yeah, because
he was afraid.
Yeah, you know, they've been chased by soldiers some time ago, and in Ghana, though people above a certain age have lived under a certain kind of dictatorship.
Yeah.
You know, our democracy is very young.
Yeah.
And because of that, the fear of getting arrested or something is
still there.
Yeah. And because of that, people don't want to be associated with certain things.
Yeah.
So my parents, from the start, they did not like it.
Really?
Yeah.
Did they like call you and advise you?
Yeah.
And tell you to stop?
Don't do it anymore. If you want to make music, go and make gospel music.
Is it going to make
No,
and you defied them more or less.
Yeah,
respectfully.
Because the people that they thought were going to get angry and were going to get me arrested or something, were the people who liked the music. So with me, I knew exactly what I was doing. I know those that I had met and those who have expressed appreciation in my stuff and all.
So this was an interview you had with KSM about 90 years ago, and you said you knew what you were doing then. No, but did you talk to your dad about your political ambitions before he passed?
Yes.
You did?
And when I tell people, you see, I always knew I would win this election. So this is what happened. A day before my father passed, we had a long conversation. He went into coma when I was in London. And then I spoke to him like 30 minutes before. Then my sister called me and said, "Hey, have you heard what has happened? My father, we call him Dan, like Daniel. Everybody calls him Dan." He said, "Oh, Dan is not well. He's on admission. He's gone to come." I said, "I just spoke with him now." He said, I said, no, call, check it. He said, "No, it just happened." So I called and they said they had taken him. After we spoke, he collapsed or something. So for 4 days, he was in coma. He was in coma for 4 days. Then after 4 days, when he came back, he said, me wu na masan but he said the minimum said you wu but I will say ye wade no and go for no person me hu say we DMP and on person dem me call say ye wade no. So we spoke when he came from the hospital. We spoke at length, Then my father called almost every chief a day before he died. He called every chief in the constituency. He said, "Oh, Obanu Sobeko MP or someone supporting him." He called Apata Kofi, the Pomazi chief. He called Asebu chief. He called everybody. Then it was a Wednesday. I said, "I'll see him on Friday." I woke up Thursday morning. He was gone.
Oh.
Even on Wednesday when we were talking, he said, so like he was going to play football with the kids. So I knew that he was okay. Then Thursday morning, I had a call that he passed at dawn. So every chief calls me and says, your father said I should help you to become MP. I woke up this morning and said he's dead. He called me. I was with him yesterday. So it was like something he had left before.
Yeah.
It was like a message that he left. It was his last wish. And you know our people, they take these things very seriously. Like this man called me yesterday and said, I should help you to become MP. And the next morning he's gone. And there's nothing I can do. So the incumbent and the NDC candidate had an issue, but they didn't know that it was more traditional than what we were doing, than political. Because the chiefs knew that this man told me this. The next day he died. What can I do? So almost every chief. So if you were at my father's funeral, you realize that from Obremponyang for Krampa, Gomwa Ejumako chief, Obrefo, Ahenako, Gomwa Achampem, Dasibre Kwebu we see.
Okay.
Representatives from Osaberma, Cape Coast chief, almost every chief. The last person who called me a day to the funeral was Sam Jonas. Brother, the neatest town in Ghana, I think Kushia chief, what's his name? Praj in Sem. Nana Praj in Sem. He called me at a night to the funeral and said he's not feeling, he's old. Yeah. So he couldn't make it. Every chief in Central Region was coming to the funeral. So it's a conversation that I had with my father, and God knows best. I really wish.
He'll be so happy now. Huh?
Yeah. So which month did he pass?
In June.
In June?
Yes, in June, and he was buried. So it's just about a year or so. So I had to halt.
Last year June.
To have the funeral, and the funeral was it was the campaign. They did everything. Yeah.
Wow.
So I know, and you know, my father helped just too many people. So he played a vital role, even though he was not around. I go to places and people say, "Oh, your father, he made my children go to his school for free 20 years ago. Oh, 10 years ago, your father saw my kids and he said they should come to his school for free." So they just, he may his soul rest in peace.
Wow. Is your mom alive?
Yes.
What does she make of your political journey?
My mom is Jehovah's Witness.
Okay. Into one twabani krama.
She
did not vote.
Yeah, but she'll be the first person to take her grandchildren to free SHS. Yeah, so, and you know, my brothers and I, we just like worrying her. We have put our posters all over the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you go to her house, even on her door, we have put some there. But you know, she's liberal. You can do whatever you want to do, so long as it's not against. She has her beliefs. We have ours. We are matured enough. So she is quite indifferent when it comes to all of these. Yeah.
How old were you when you did freedom of speech?
I was.
Were you 20?
20, thereabout, 1920.
No, at that age,
anybody
at that age would be thinking about things about love, relationship, about entertainment, parties, and you were thinking about politics then.
Yes. When I was in secondary school, when I was in Bremen Kuma Secondary School, I was the opinion leader. I was the one who was speaking on behalf of the students.
Oh, okay.
We didn't have light in Bremen Kuma Secondary School. I was 16 or so by then. We didn't have electricity. The school was run on a plant, and the plant comes on at 6 thereabout and goes off at 9. So by 9 everybody should be sleeping.
Okay.
Yes, and fortunately Bremen Kuma was connected to the national grid, and the electricity, instead of coming to the school and the hospital, went to the big men's houses. So I organized a demonstration. I told all the students that we need electricity. We need electricity on campus. It shouldn't be in the Omanhene's house or the DC's house. No, the electricity must be on campus. So when they were waiting for us at assembly one morning, myself, I was informed too by then. All the seniors followed me, and then we marched to town. And when the masters saw our placards that we needed electricity, they left the assembly and they followed us. In fact, our demonstration, we didn't destroy one plant. We didn't destroy one liver blade. We rather went and brought something.
Wow.
So I'm just saying this, that even when I was 16, I was leading a protest to bring something. We didn't have to destroy, because in those days, you know that demonstration was about just destroying school property and all that. We rather brought something. And that is how come the students are enjoying electricity today. So I have been this kind of person even when I was in secondary school.
Wow. So when we were doing all those politically themed songs, did any of the politicians come to you to say, do song about this person for me? Did you have that experience?
I have been a non-conformist for...
Oh, okay.
Yes. It's very difficult for you to tell me to do something about something. I want to be sure that what I'm doing is something that I want to do. And so... it has never happened like that.
Okay.
In fact, you meet people who will say, "Oh, when you want me do for shame."
Okay.
Like talk about this issue, and then sometimes it's something that you have not thought of. But once the person says that, "Oh, bring this issue in," or you could say this like this, then it gives you some ideas. Yeah.
So, how would you say you've benefited from music industry or the creative industry?
I must be honest, it has given me a certain platform.
Okay.
And it has played a vital role in everything that I have achieved today. I think that the kind of songs that I did, especially when I did Africa is where I wanna be, life will be easy as ABCD. The leaders them are greeting us plenty.
Is that the letter to the West?
The letter to the West.
Oh, okay.
You
this
know,
one. So you moved from Ghanaian politics to West Africa to Africa.
Sued me in Ghana. They were not achieving anything, so I said, "You let me go and see if Mugabe will also sue me." And you know what? When I made this song, I met Mugabe's Attorney General then.
Wow.
I met Mugabe's Attorney General in Ghana, and when he met me, he said, "You have listened to your song. You don't know who Mugabe is." Well,
You are playing with fire.
Yeah. So I was wondering if maybe because Dr. Richard Anani had sued me. And when Kojo Prekodankwa called me and said, "They are looking for you to serve you," I said, "What have I done?" So Dr. Richard Anani said, "You said that Yadnakwa Buitre Uncle Kan is Asama Akoshe Tokuru." I said, How is that defamatory? I said, "They are looking for you to serve you." So I called Kwesi Pratt. Go from what's what the make court. I said, "Don't mind them, we will face them. We will face them. I'll call Lawyer Mote. Lawyer Mote will handle." So I was thinking, President Kufu and Richard Anani want to sue me, and Kwesi Pratt said we should go and face them. This man, if I follow this man, I'll get problem. So I did further consultation, and somebody said, "Go and beg. Go and beg. Don't follow Kwesi Pratt. He is a big man. Don't follow him." So I passed back Boko.
And you went to beg.
I passed back Boko, and I went to see the people. I said, but this one is just entertainment. And then when they saw me, you know, that time my neck was long. I was very skinny with a very long neck.
Yeah.
When I wear Sanyum, Pachomia. Oh, small boy, I'm sure say you know. Say Pachomia. But ube quit chirumum.
Wow.
So I had too many issues in this system, and I felt that I needed to move beyond Ghana. That's why I did this, and it came out real good.
What inspired you to create that website together with Prince Vincent, Osafo Anthony, Kwame Hagan? Screw life.
Yeah.
You were part of it. Why were you screwing people's lives?
It was no good.
That was satire.
Yeah, but
people didn't understand it.
I think we overdid some of the things that we did. In fact, looking at how I will feel today with the benefit of hindsight, I think that we screwed a lot of lives.
You did.
And even though it was satire and we had Ghanaians were not, that was new to us.
Yeah.
And people took everything serious. You know, when Obinim went to, one day we did a story that Obinim went to the embassy for a visa and they told him to fly because he had been flying outside. And then we did another story that eating fufu at night it costs something. So my sister, she didn't know I was behind Screw Life, so she sent me a screenshot of the story and said, "You, what's this here fufu? Eat the nana."
Wow!
You meet people arguing, I think that I wouldn't do that today. We were young, the adrenaline was high. Yeah, and it was not anything illegal, but it affected a lot of people, especially families. Yeah. So all of those who were affected by Screw Life, those lives that we screwed, please forgive us, we won't screw again.
All right, John 99.7 FM, Showbiz A to Z. My name is Kwame Dadzie. I'm here with Kwame Asari Obeng A+. And also in the studio, I have Uncle Don Doku, Francis Doku himself, Don Juan.
Bro, thank you.
He's CEO of Africa Plugin Media. Digital, yeah. He's the man, tourism connoisseur.
And
then
he left
Bullgod.
small, like he take me go media general. He pulled me. Hey, this man is away.
You cry, me. So you went to Class FM to manage it, Class Group. What happened?
The money was small.
You took it. Did you take it?
No,
You didn't take it.
yeah, I wanted more.
And they said,
I don't see myself waking up at 4 a.m. every day. I can't travel to visit my family for the amount that they were giving me. Yeah, so that's why I didn't take it.
So you didn't start at all.
I did 24 hours.
Because he announced it.
I did 24 hours. Alaji is a very good friend, but I wanted us to do some good business. It wasn't something that it was going to take all my time, and that was the time that I was at a stage in my life where I wanted to do more of academics.
Okay.
Yes. So at that time, I was doing my bachelor's in public admin. Then I did a master's in international relations. I had to get into the law faculty. So it was just too much for that money.
All right. We also have Bullgod here, artist manager. Bullgod.
Big man.
And Chief Mumini. Hey, Chief. It's been a while.
Well, I was told I was blacklisted, so it's good that.
Told by who? Who told you?
Someone called me after we had a very heated Galamsey
discussion.
That he hasn't heard of me on the show again. Is it because I came to fire?
No.
I'm like, I have to call Philip and find out.
We don't do
so
that.
When I called, he said, no, we don't do
Philip
that.
can do it.
We don't take.
So right now, I don't know whether it's because it's the green wave. So right now, I don't know. Had there been an elephant wave, whether invited me. So now, but I take it in good faith, and I'm happy to be back for the little while I'm still around.
Let me start with you then. A+ is here. He's going to Parliament, Goma Central.
Yes.
Yeah. Any good words?
Yes, I mean, good afternoon to A+. I was listening to his rather very spirited delivery of his journey into Parliament, and you can see that it's not child's play, and that he put quite a lot of work on the ground. I was quite impressed, with the kind of establishment that he put in place. So I can only wish A+ the best. Wish him the best on his presidential ambition. These days, I don't dismiss people's presidential ambition. When Trump said he wanted to become president, we all dismissed him, right? And now he's been elected twice. We know Kennedy Japan is interested in becoming president. I wouldn't dismiss that ambition. We know General Mosquito may be interested.
Yeah, that's my candidate. General Mosquito.
Yes.
Yeah, my candidate.
Oh, okay.
Your candidate how?
I bet he will be flag bearer of NDC.
Okay.
Yeah.
He will.
You see, my fear is that there's quite a.
Is it because he's slim? That's why you're shaking your head.
I'm also slim.
There's a growing popularity, and with all due respect to that kind of rabble rousing, and I'm using that advisedly, characters who speak their mind, do not care about the niceties and protocols, and call things as they may be. Sometimes could be exaggerated, sometimes could be offensive, but people seem to have had sort of enough of the idea of I'm careful not to say book long, but I can see the appeal in someone's character like A+, because I mean A+ is quite a
cantankerous.
Yes, even Bulldog. I'm even wondering whether Bulldog has a presidential ambition.
That's my vice.
So I can see the appeal because people are fed up of the establishment, they are fed up of the status quo, and they kind of like want some kind of a revolution. So how do you get a revolution within a democratic system? Then you need a rabble rouser. You need someone who can go out there, and that's why even in the media landscape, the likes of Onia TV, what's his name? Don, I'm sure
Captain
Smart has an audience. The likes of Kevin Taylor. I mean, I was so shocked when I actually went to the north, right? Yeah, Paul Adam. You see, he has switched. When I went to the north recently for a funeral, and some guys were just sitting there watching Kevin Taylor, so dedicated, and they're so fired up, and it just showed me that there's an appeal to that kind of character, and I wouldn't dismiss A+'s ambition at all, especially if it is well situated, or the likes of his temperament in other political parties. So I'm very interested to see how the political landscape, kind of like develops. But I can only wish him the best. I didn't know he was contesting. So when I didn't know. When I saw he had written I have won, I said I've won what? So I'm on the same platform with Don. I was like, I didn't know he was contested. So it means that he was on the ground. It wasn't about social media. He was actually
all over. He was actually
I don't know, maybe
visible.
I was a bit I was toned out or something. But it must have been a very expensive campaign, considering that he had a whole institution and establishment for 2 years. I mean, I'm wondering how he financed his campaign. Maybe he can also let us know.
Let's ask him.
Yeah.
For
those of us who may be picking some lessons.
We can't reveal ourselves.
Is that we're picking some lessons and some advice. There is the best advice that you can get in this world is take money and go and work. That's the best advice you can give anybody. So don't worry, I'll give you money.
No, but they say that it's better to teach a man how to fish than give him the fish.
I don't want you to be tired.
This one, his money is giving you enough.
But to end, I think that I'm interested to see how A+ transitions into parliament. Now that we have an NDC that is a super majority, it means that the likes will be relying on very powerful parliamentarians to give us a semblance of the minority. And I think that if A+ repurposes his gusto, and his intellect and his excitement into parliament, he may well make a good name for himself, sanitize his image a little bit, to give it that presidential dust off, while still retaining, the roughness that makes him, appealing, to the masses out there. So I'm interested to see how he translates into parliament, into the language of parliament, into the language of accountability. And I'm very excited about the new crop of young people, entering parliament now. I think that we are entering a new dispensation, and we can talk more about that.
Nice one, Chief Moment.
A+.
Yeah, poet, playwright. Yeah, Chief Moment. You are back now for good, eh?
Well, if I'm not, let me go to green wave now. I can see the media I can sense a sense of relief within the media.
Change is good. Bullgod.
Yes.
Were you also very hopeful A+ was going to win?
I knew from start. I mean, you check my commentary on radio and television. I had no doubt, because he's somebody I've known for a very long time, and he doesn't just speak or blow hot air, right? Everything he set his eyes to do, he's done it. So that was another hurdle he needed to just leap over, right? So I knew that, he wasn't going there to go and joke, and then the kind of investment he put into this. He's done this in our space, for a very long time. He's committed everything, and especially when I went into as well, I knew that no, Charlie. And for me, I keep telling people all the time, I'm not your ordinary guy that looks at the metrics and what people are saying and what I'm not that person. I'm a spiritual person. I'm an energy person, right? Now, the conversation he just told you about the dad and what the dad wished for him, we've had that conversation already. And the day we had that conversation, I knew that was the nail in the coffin for him to win the seat, you know, because one of the things I can tell you now as we speak is that, you know, before President Mahama voted on the morning, he went to the dats, you know, and that alone also spoke volume. When I saw that, I knew we were going to win, you know, but that really sealed it. So for me, from day one, I had not doubted my brother's strides to get into parliament, and I'm so excited. I have friends in parliament now. I'm very glad I have brothers in parliament, you know, that I can walk into the space and you know, have a conversation, you know, himself, John Dumelo, Sadiq, you know, everybody, Edem Agbena, you know, these are my brothers, you know, and I'm so excited that they're there, you know. These are people that you call them, they pick up, they listen to your concerns, you know that, okay, tomorrow when I'm watching proceedings, my concern will be, you know, will be advocated on the floor of parliament, you know. So hey, we can only wish for all of us to populate the place and change, because for me it's been like business as usual, you know, and we don't want that, you know, and I know that the likes of A Plus, you know, they'll turn the house around, you know. I trust me, it's a journey. Look, the 2 terms here, Ghana is going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting.
That is American honor.
It's going to be very exciting.
Yes. You will see different. You know, different. Trust me. I mean, he's not. I mean, all the guys who are going are not people who don't speak.
Yeah.
They speak up. You know, and not to disrespect the Speaker of Parliament, is my daddy be that, you know, but they will be the speakers of Parliament. They'll be so loud. Yeah, they'll be so loud. You hear them, you know. You hear them. So Charlie, bro, congrats again.
Thank you.
And Charlie, we dare your back 247.
You know what I was wishing for?
What?
That NDC wins all the seats.
Hey.
And I will be the only independent.
Yeah.
So I will sit at one side.
Yes.
And the others will sit at one side, and they'll face just me.
Yeah.
So that Ghana will see the meaning of half man, half Muslim.
Half Muslim.
Because you know they won 180 something seats, and you get people say, oh, now they have super majority, so they can do whatever. We are experts in bringing governments down. You see, the 180 something. Give them 1 year. If they're not careful, you have about 160 of them doing stuff that Ghanaians don't want them to do. And you need people to come and tell Ghanaians that, hey, they did this, hey, they are doing that.
And you'll be doing that.
So so they can all be at one. They can even have 200. I will just set up my phone. I don't even need much. I don't have to build Joy FM. I just need a phone and a Facebook account which has plenty followers. And every evening when I leave Parliament, I'll come and sit down. And I say, hey, you Ghana for yeah, that's all the job that I will do. And then we'll see what will happen in 2 years. So I don't want them to be complacent that, oh, we have all the numbers so we can do whatever. No. Look, the kind of person that A Plus is, I don't even see myself being in power. And I've been thinking about this. I can caucus with the minority. I just want to ensure that we are doing the right thing for Ghana. So it's not about me going to Parliament and there's majority, so I have to go and join the no. It has to. If I would join the majority, we have to have a conversation. The majority must ensure that this is the reason, and I will not be that kind of person who will just be sitting down because now I joined the majority. So from that time on, let's go and when you are chopping, don't talk. No, me, I'm a non-conformist. I'm independent.
Thank you.
Me become a green.
And
Chop and talk at the same time.
Yes. Let me explain that one. You see, in every civilized society, in every developed country, the leaders are rich, the countries are richer, the people are okay. It is only in Africa where the leaders become rich, the countries become poor, and the people are poorer. There is nothing wrong. Look, when you go to Saudi Arabia, you go and meet people arguing that they are the prince or the king drives a gold-plated what, and they are excited about it because everybody is okay. Who is complaining? But when Akufo-Addo rents a jet here, we will complain because the people are hungry.
Exactly.
So there's nothing wrong with people being in power and being rich. When the people are rich, look, the king of England, King Charles, had a dinner in France also, and the lobster that he ate cost about £640,000. And there's no demonstration in Europe. You go and have a lobster dinner for 640,000. Everybody's okay because the kids have health care, they have better schools, the kids have money, the parents are okay. Who is going to complain?
No.
But here, You have one person destroying all the forest to mine all the gold. Galamsey, take it, and the poor people who are living there, who have never seen gold before, are the ones who are going to drink the same water that has been polluted. You are come to take our gold, and we have to die.
So in effect, will be a bedidi.
I mean, you see,
yes, Obia Bedidi, and it's very important for Obia to.
I mean, I have a theory.
Ghana is for
corruption, and I'm
Ghanaians.
sure as we talk about it, I would elaborate more.
Okay,
on
we'll come to
yes.
that. Now let me ask Uncle Dondoku. Did you win your seat?
This seat to the top.
We might say that's in a voter or a contestant.
Uncle Francis,
Yes,
do you have
yes.
any political ambitions?
I think I used to think that I will one day go and contest the Shayo Sudoku constituency, which is my home constituency. But I don't know as of now if I still do. Really, because some constituencies are heavily party based.
Yeah,
I mean, and it really doesn't matter. I must say before I continue that I was really surprised, to be honest, that A+ won as an independent candidate.
Wow.
And like you said, there was not too long ago we were having conversation about trying to convince him to join us at Media General when I was there. And it was during those processes that he mentioned to me that, I mean, he's studying and, he has some ambitions, and all that. And I said, hey, is he sure? He said, well, he's sure. When the time comes, we won't see. So I wasn't really convinced, really, because some constituencies are really, really very strong when it comes to the two main political parties, and it's very difficult to. So my constituency, where I come from, since God created us and the 1992 constitution was established and we started its fourth republic, it has always been an NDC seat. Shayo Sudoku has always been an NDC. People have tried. I know there was a time even Gloria Kufu, who comes from there, who's my cousin, a long distance cousin, tried. She was beaten black and blue and she had to leave. People have tried independent, and all that. So if you want to go into parliament on that seat, you have to become an NDC, in my view. Maybe sometime A+'s success as an independent would encourage many people that really don't care if it is even, and even the gentleman who won the Asante Achim seat. I was astounded by the numbers. I mean, the sheer numbers, the difference between what he got and what Lawyer Pierre Kubi got was so huge. I said, well, you remember we started with him in this studio?
Yeah, a few weeks ago.
And I was even asking Philip, is this guy sure really if he's going to, and he beats the incumbent very well. So I think it's an inspiration to people who still have some modicum level of ambition that I still want to represent my people, but I don't want to be part of whether NDC or MPP. But I still want to find a way to represent them. Maybe that's an inspiration. So yes, he may come back.
All right.
But I think I must commend A+. And again, around July, I drove through his constituency. I was coming from Cape Coast, and the traffic on the road to Winneba, from Winneba right down to Kasua, when I saw it, was so serious that I said, okay, let me pass this side to Insawam and then descend to Eburi to Accra. And that was when I saw, things. Saw his poster. I saw that there were activities happening in the constituency. I tried to call him to say, Jack, I've seen you, but he I think at that time I told him later that I tried to reach him and I couldn't because he was a bit working around his campaign and all that, I believe, so it was then that I realized that things could really happen. And so on the day of election, when just after a few hours and then we saw that A+ had posted that he'd won, and we're like, oh, Charlie, I will not trek a crack on chamber election. And King Kanye money, so I can say we're winning, that kind of thing. And so later, when it was confirmed, we said, wow, this is something good to happen. So congratulations, A+. And I think that you ran a very good campaign. I believe it will have been very strong. Politics is not for the faint-hearted. It is a strong thing. There's somebody who is an incumbent. He's the deputy interior minister, and you were going to contest that person, they will be very strong, come with all the forces of state, the national, the security of state, and all that. And I believe it was very strong. But you stood your ground and you won. I think the question would be, and I'm happy that I was going to ask that, but I'm happy that A+ mentioned it in just a few minutes ago, that he will not go into parliament, just because he had to sit with one side or caucus with one side and decide that this is what will happen. I mean, many people go, especially when this ruling government, they want to caucus with the ruling government, because as they say, opposition, there'll be a lot of things that you want as if you're in opposition, especially when you want development for your people, that if you are not very sure about which side of the aisle you are as an independent candidate, you may not be able to get those things. And so sometimes people are compelled to caucus with the incumbent so that it eases things for them personally, and also maybe for their people. If they want road construction, they want this, it is easier, I am told, if you are incumbent than if you are in opposition. So maybe that would let her inform it. But he has said categorically that, and we know A+. I mean, we've been together, we've been friends for. There was a time he mentioned me in his song, I think. Yeah, me and Mark. At the time.
For good reasons.
Yeah, for good reasons.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He said for good reasons.
Right now, I'll be honorable.
Honorable. I think he implied that Mark and I were very forthright when it comes to giving criticisms, at the time when he mentioned us in song. So we've been going for a long time, and we spoke about a lot of things. So I believe him when he says that he would make sure that the government doesn't have it easy. I think for the government we have now, the kind of mandate that Ghanaians have given the NDC is so very strong. I think Ghanaians toyed with the idea of a hung parliament, and it didn't work much. There was so much controversy in parliament. Laws are stored. As we sit now, we don't know how this current parliament will end when they come back next week. So Ghanaians say, well, maybe we should give the government a bigger number so they can do things that they want to do. But there are some individuals who have been elected into parliament who would make sure that the government really, in spite of all the majority he has, will not be confident. I think A+ represent that kind of MPs, and I hope that he keeps to that, to ensure that there's some sanity in parliament, that it's not everything that will be brought that would just be rubber stamp. We know of a rubber stamp parliament in the first parliament of the Fourth Republic, where the opposition boycotted parliament. So President Rawlings had the whole parliament to himself, and a lot of laws were made at that time. Following that, we had other people coming in, and it helped. It is good when you have a sort of balance, or you have some number of people balanced. And I hope that people like A+ would set themselves up to ensure that we are not run over by the incumbent government. I believe that the NDC will do good, but there's a need for a certain check on them in parliament.
Great.
Even as those of us outside will also try as we can to ensure that the things that were promised are delivered. But just to run up, I think it's also important to mention that we're very happy that people we know in the creative sector have been elected to go to parliament. I mean, I don't think people go to parliament because they want to represent a particular sector. The first thing about parliamentarian is representation. You represent your people, represent a constituency that elected you, and not all of them are creative people or want to be represented as creative people. You represent their needs, and that I think must be first established. So when we say, oh, these people are going to parliament and it will help the creative
we will come to that discussion.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah,
so,
thank you.
Congratulations to them for being elected, first of all.
So Kwame, if I can say something real quick,
please let me go on the phone lines and come back to you. Okay, John 99.7 FM, Showbiz A to Z. Also joining us here is Blakk Rasta. He is a broadcaster and a musician. But let's go to the phone lines right now and speak to MP-elect for Okaikwe Central constituency, Baba Sadiq. Honorable.
Yes, Kwame.
Honorable.
Yes, Kwame. How are you?
We did fine, pa.
Nice one.
Share with us, how was the experience like, during the election period till you were announced winner?
Well, I mean, it's a surreal experience. I mean, the campaign itself was not an easy one. And don't forget, I've always maintained that my campaign was going to be very tough because I was coming against somebody that had comfortably won the seat 3 times in 3 election cycles. And so coming against such a person was not an easy task. But we needed to dig in deep and then campaign as much as we can and go the extra mile, work hard to ensure that we're able to flip the seat to green. So I mean, all in all, it's a very interesting experience. I mean, a very interesting ride. I mean, lots of experiences, lots of nuggets to take from it. But eventually we triumphed.
On a scale of 0 to 10, how easy or otherwise was your contest against Patrick Boama?
It was a very, very tough one. It was a very, very tough one, and I gave you the reasons why it's a tough one. Also because, I mean, this is somebody that has won the seat comfortably in 3 different election cycles. This is somebody that has a very strong familiarity with constituents as well, and that's some of his strength that we identified going into election. I think one of the things we did right was to scoop him out very well and understand his strength, and then also understand his weaknesses, and then be able to understand our strength going into it as well. Because I realized that if it's having to be about his familiarity, because of my good people skills, I could, beat him to it possibly and try to build a very good rapport and visibility within the constituency. Most importantly, we identified that for us to be able to win the seats, we needed to work hard. There was a point where we had a mantra: there's no alternative to hard work. We needed to work hard, like extra mad, it's crazy. So now I could still feel the pains in my knees, for instance, because I was campaigning morning, afternoon, evening. I had a 3-shift campaign period. And I remember Francis was speaking now. There are times when he called me and I said, Francis, we'll take the seat though. He says, hey, Charlie, you sure? But we knew, and I've always maintained that it's not called a campaign for nothing. And fortunately for those of us that come from industries that relates to marketing, communications, and understand a bit more about campaigning and making one's brand favorable to, trying to get audiences to buy into our vision and our message. I mean, we know that it's not just called a campaign for nothing. So we worked a lot of research, we looked at a lot of insights. Sometime around May this year as well, there's a research that had indicated that he represented the safest MP for the MPP in Greater Accra, for instance. We didn't dismiss it. I didn't dismiss it at all. I reached out to, Musa Dankwa and his Global Info Analytics to really understand what insights they were having access to and why they were saying what they were saying. And so once we understood it, once we broke it down and understood which areas he had his strength and all of that, our work was just cut out for us. And then we set to campaign and we had to just work hard. But as much as we worked out as well on the campaign, we made sure that our elections management processes was top notch. Because one of the things we realized previously was that in our constituency, Local Central, in previous election cycles, the way we approached elections management was a bit porous and poor. So we had to go the extra mile. There's a significant investment that went into it to ensure that we had a proper coalition center, had like a lot of experts at my disposal to ensure that we're able to track, we're able to build a whole system to ensure that we have all our pin sheet at a certain point in time, all our numbers at a certain point in time, collated fully, make sure that our process of coalition and identifying any wrongs is picked up quickly. And that's one of the things that helped us. And this explains why we were more agile and more forthwith with all our facts when we met the EC on Monday. And we were able to make state archives, which helped us eventually to be declared as winners of the constituency.
We hear your constituency is one of those under contention now, undergoing recollation, right?
Well, I mean, we have not gotten any notice about a recollation, except to note that there's been media reports, I think, of a press conference by the EC. But I think that there's been a lot of conversations regarding it, and the facts are clear. When the seat has been declared, the EC themselves, from a letter they shared or the road to the NDC in 2020, we stated it quite clear that once the declaration has been done and the summary has been, produced, there can't be any recollection unless if any party feels aggrieved, the person can take it to court. And in our case, that's exactly what happened. I mean, we stated a strong case. And I remember on was it Monday or Sunday when there's a bit of a confusion regarding who had won. I indicated strongly that we have all our numbers intact, we have all our pink sheets, we've done our collation, we understand where the challenges were, and we knew from the pink sheet and the collation that we had won. And we even indicated that if there was any forum whatsoever to having to adjudicate or go through to understand if we had won or not, I know it will come off. It will affirm our stance that we had won. And that's exactly what happened on the Monday. So in this instance, we've also had a report that sitting MP also wants to resort to the High Court, which is fine, which is his right anyway. But I don't think that as has been shared, every collation will augur well for us already. And the police will tell you our constituency is one of the flash constituencies. I don't think the IGP or the EC would want to have any blood on their hands. What we have to go through to maintain peace and order in the constituency as leaders of the constituency, Kwame, it's crazy. So anybody that understands our constituency, that understands the nature of the constituency and the work we've done in collaboration with the police in the district, in the division, to maintaining the peace and order, will tell you that it's one of the constituencies you do not try to do anything untoward.
Good one there. Baba, which areas fall under your constituency?
So Bemomo electoral area is New Fadama. There's Blemago electoral area, which is Abeka. Then we have the Olingele electoral area, which is La Paz, Namiche, and its environs. We have the Wanyaman electoral area, which has to do with Botwe, some parts of Flat Top, which connects to the N1. Then we have the Penkwa electoral area, which includes Tesano Estates, and Penkwa Township, Manchaman, and all those environs. So it's five electoral areas and all.
Okay, now last one before you go. So maybe I think you may have heard about the conversation regarding the fact that we have 6 people from the creative industry going to Parliament.
Yeah.
Why should we be happy about that as an industry?
I don't think you should begin to have very serious expectations. And I think I earlier agreed on another platform with A+, and I've had to say it before. Our primary reason of being in Parliament is our constituents. I mean, they are the ones that actually voted for us to represent them in Parliament, and beyond having to represent them and help to make laws that would make life, that would enable them. They are also having certain expectations connecting to the promises that we've made to them, and so a lot of the work will be to ensuring that the promises we made to our constituents are delivered, and that in itself is a lot of work, and so. And for our industry, we are not primarily in Parliament to represent industry. However, as members or people from industry, of course, when there are engagements or interactions that would enable industry, I'm sure our experiences will come in handy. When, for instance, there's a need to pass that LI that we've always spoken about, that will fully operationalize the Creative Art Agency and the Creative Arts Fund, I'm sure our experiences will come in handy. When there's a need to amend the copyright bill, for instance, which we think that is not fit for purpose now, which some of us think is not fit for purpose now, I'm sure our experiences and insights from industry will come in handy. I mean, these are but some of the ways where our experiences of industry would enhance the process. And eventually, for those of us whose party had eventually won to form a government in power, and there's a need to also work within the executive government, that's when our services will come in handy. But purely from the parliamentary point, we are there primarily to represent our constituencies, and so they would be the primary the primary point of our intended impact in Parliament.
Thank you very much, Baba Sadiq, for your time this afternoon. And Baba Sadiq is the MP elect for Okankwe Central constituency. Still here on Joe 99.7 FM. Showbiz A to Z, brought to you by MTN everywhere you go and Superstar multi-food drink. I had wanted to let Blakk Rasta introduce himself in a grand style with his intro song, but I just checked. Our chair is not strong. Blakk Rasta.
Yes.
Yeah. How you doing?
I'm good, and you?
I'm doing fantastic. Did you vote? Did you vote?
Yes. I tried to vote. Yes, I tried to. Yes.
Are you happy about the outcome?
Yes. I am. In fact, we're just looking for change, and I think change is here. Yes, I was so fed up. I told everybody that, listen, should these guys win the election again, I will be out of this country. And I think a month before the elections, I was out of the country. I was in Jamaica, I was in America, and some other places, just planning a very, very, very fluid exit. Should they win? You see, and
wait, you were planning what?
A fluid exit,
So if they had won,
yes, I would have gone. In fact, I wanted to. I mean, we have people like Wole Soyinka telling you that, listen, if this guy called Trump wins the next election, I am out of America. I don't need this green card again. People thought he was joking, and when Trump won, he put a pair of scissors through his green card, sliced that into 2, went back and sliced that into 4, and then walked back to Nigeria. You see, I wanted to do that so that we can take our politics a little bit more serious. Yes, in fact, I honestly was tired. I mean, I couldn't see some of those things happening, and some people were still clamoring around these people as if they had done something good. I was most disappointed. The arrogance, the way they spoke to us when they were coming into power. And in the middle of their tenure, they turned us into an animal farm. You see, I couldn't take it anymore. I'm growing, brethren. I'm no more 16. I'm no more 17. My children are growing. They are moving from the teen ages into the so-called maturity ages. You see, when they come and ask me, I mean, you've been on the microphone all this while. What did you do with the privilege? Did you just sit down there to shout and hop on the chair? What did you do? I looked at it and I said, no, I mean, something had to be done. So I radically had to come out and say that, listen, this was it. And I'm glad that, yes, I didn't become a ridicule in the eyes of the people. They are out, and for good. I wonder when they will return into power again. I truly wonder. The arrogant, and the most annoying part is they are wondering why they lost the election. They still cannot tell. Hey, with all these things that you have done, you cannot tell us why you lost. You want to have meetings upon meetings, drink and dine again with kenke parties and e-levy cakes before you would be able to diagnose this thing, your loss, the most historic in all our elections. I think that our politicians don't take us serious. Yeah, change has come, and I'm glad. I'm happy.
Are you hopeful that Mahama is going to bring some change?
I want to believe that Mahama is a changed person. His first tenure also gave us a few disappointments. And he himself said it, that, hey, I know that my tenure was not the very best, but I did some things that made you remember me when I was away. That is my ray of hope. I want to believe that if he has some good people, there were people who disappointed him. He had 1 or 2 family members in his, around him who disappointed him. I believe that he will look at it and remember that the only reason he's back into power is because of the legacy that he left behind. And so he should hold on to that legacy and do more. I'm hearing things in the grapevine that he's telling his people that, listen, we are going into power, and anybody who misbehaves, in fact, that person would see a different Mahama. This is the kind of rhetoric I want to hear, you see. And I want to also believe that if he has some good people around him who are not necessarily interested in buying him the latest luxuries and all those things, but making him focus on the nation, I believe that would have a really good time. And I believe he's bent on doing that.
One of our very own creative A+ is going to Parliament, and he's here with us today. Any nice words to him?
Yeah, I mean, I've known A+ from when I was in Tamale, and he used to come on GTV and sing. We used to call him Applause.
Why?
Yeah, in Tamale, for a reason. We were just calling him Applause. You see, and I truly used to like him so much. You know,
A plus. Oh, like temperature.
Yeah, I mean, the guys around all love him. And when I look at those guys who used to love him in those days, they have all become big grown men. It means we are growing. And, you know, me and A Plus have crossed paths a number of times, and it's been very, very positive. When Nam1 was going to hire me, he was one of the first people who came out and put that out on Facebook and said, hey, this guy that you're going to take is the best decision that you, Nam1, would ever have. And boom, it encouraged Nam1. He hired me and gave me some good things. You see? And then a few months back, he called me and said, an honorable member is going to call you. I told him a few things, and I think that he will call you soon. And then Kennedy Japan called me. He said, Blakk, Uniana, say, yeah, me, Oi plus say, if I don't speak with you, I will never win an election in Ghana. Yes. A plus is here. That's what Kennedy Japan told me. I said, whoa, okay. So A plus holds me in really high esteem. Yeah, we might meet and crack all the jokes and don't really give too much face value to each other. But I think that deep inside us, we know who can do what and who cannot do what. For A plus to be able to rise there, to be very honest with you, I knew that he would be able to do something. But I did not know, I didn't believe that he would win the elections. Oh. You see, but when it came out that he said he had won, then I was listening to him when I was coming, saying that his father played a very strong role in that. It tells us a very beautiful story. We all need that legacy. We all need people we can trust. The chiefs trusted his father, so they didn't even need to trust A plus. Once a trusted person endorses another person, you don't need to go through the dossier of that person. It works automatically. Just like Francis Doku. I mean, I was with Alaji doing my own things, and I was almost getting frustrated. I wanted a way out, you know. And then, boom, he called me and said, Charlie, are you ready to come and join us? Blah, blah. I said, Francis, I don't want to listen to you. For about 4 or 5 times, we have been talking about this same thing, and it doesn't come to pass. Is what shows that it's going to happen this time around. I said, oh, yeah, they've always shut it down, but it will happen. You know, and before I realized, Charlie, I had some big fat check. Keys. In fact, he negotiated my salary. I got it, and when I was walking out of the office, I shook my head and said,
"Wow, how much was it?
It was heavy, so heavy, heavier than the elephant." In fact, yeah, I remember people like Sally telling me, "Hey, Charlie, some of us are retiring, but you are increasing in a certain way in retirement." I'm like, "Whoa!" She's reminding me that I'm growing. Yeah, she's reminding me that I'm growing. Yeah, so wow. I mean, we seem to believe in each other's hidden strengths and all that, and I think A plus is going to do something good. I'm glad having people like him who speak pidgin in Parliament. Okay. I heard him speak some pidgin. Mm-hmm. I heard Baba Sadiq to speak pidgin. I want to hear pidgin in Parliament.
Hey,
to the level of the people. The big English is too much. Pidgin, talk pidgin to the people. As they come, I realized that in the traffic there plenty. But my area, my constituency there, in fact, it's hot for their way. We want to hear that. Radicalize the Parliament House. Bring it to the level of the people. Encourage them to be part of the discussions. When you are discussing things in Parliament, it's like bourgeoisies drinking tea. See? So we all stay back, waiting for somebody, the news people, to come and break it down for us to digest. I want to hear pidgin in Parliament.
Joe 99.7 FM.
Rasta alongside the man Anthony Bobo B. And trust me, this one hot, rough and tough, ready and goody, cool and deadly to the bongo clippings. How you mean?
Yeah, man, we there upon the studio right now. It's a more fire things. Blakk Rasta, Blakk KD right here. We have upon the studio Ras Francis Doku, Ras A plus, Ras Bullgod, Ras Chief Moment, see?
Yeah, Rastafari.
Yeah, man.
We should also introduce part of Parliament. You know, imagine the Speaker of Parliament. Honorable members for this demo house inside. Yes. All in favor of the motion, say
So you just heard Barbershop, Blakk Rasta featuring Anthony B. Now let's come back into the studio and talk about creative arts and politics. Our number is 05511119997. Another message here before I get to Bulldog. I just love A plus. When I first heard him speak, it was a few years ago. He was talking about how he had given his all to the champion to champion the cause of the MPP, but now they had been a big disappointment, doing all the wrong things with massive corruption. I fell in love with him then because I love courageous people who are principled and don't go with the masses. If it does not agree with their principles, they stick to and stand for what they believe no matter what. I'm so proud of him, and even more today hearing him say 2 terms in parliament and no more. These are the kind of politicians that we need in Ghana, who are there for the people and not their stomachs. I am a Ga, but have lived and worked in Gumwa environs before, so I already feel a part of him. May he succeed in whatever he sets his hand to. Na from Osu. Yeah, good one there. Bullgod.
Yes, sir.
So, we have 6 people going to parliament, and already, when you go on social media, we are happy. Hey, 6 people, 6 people. Should they lower the expectations?
I'll say yes, and I mean, history will tell us, and I like the way A plus starts the conversation or the convo on that particular bit, and Honorable Sadiq has also told the same line. They are first and foremost, what you call it, mandate is to the people that elected them there. So they should go and concentrate on that. And I think what people should understand is that they are there to help make the laws that we have better. That's their primary mandate. So everything else is an addendum.
Okay.
So and I know these are people who have love for our space. So I'm sure bills that will go in front of them that will help develop our space, they're going to root for it. And they're also going to make sure. One of the things that His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has said that next time when you hear a budget being read, you hear money there. You know what I'm saying? So
he was the first to have allocated some money to the industry.
Exactly.
First to have created the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture.
Exactly. So for me, I'm very hopeful in these our times. People like the chief moments, you see the thing they're doing, and you have to go and find money, and so I'm hoping our people there will support any bill that comes their way. I know, yes, they are primary, and they've said it, but that will be their first assignment. But then anything else, I'm sure they will advocate for the right thing to be done in our space.
Thank you, Uncle Francis. On the same question, you started with it before we went around, and people are happy because we have our own in parliament, and they think that now that they are going, things will be okay. Do they not understand the work of being in parliament as an MP? Why are they so happy?
Well, I mean, I think everybody's happy if their family or somebody they know, or their friend.
At the power of you here.
If their friend, family, or people who are within their circles, win. So I'm sure it's on that same basis that people in the creative arts, and tourism sector are happy that people we know and we've known for a long time. I mean, we've just sat here listening to A Plus tell his story. We've known him for a long time when he started, singing political theme songs, and all that. We've known every bright acting, Sadiq and I go way back. I've known Sadiq for a very long time, from when he started at working with John Jermaine at Metro TV.
Oh, wow.
And all that. So when you know people and you see their success, and as like Sadiq said, I mean, occasionally I was calling him, and I don't call Sadiq sometimes because when I call Sadiq, we won't speak for less than hours. It will go on and on and on. So we're always checking to see where the progress of things were, and so you are happy when people like that get to that stage, and Parliament is the highest stage of our democracy, of course, apart from being the president, as it were. So people need to expect that these ladies and gentlemen who have been elected will represent their sector very well. But I think the point we're making is that they were not elected because of that, or just because of that. First point of people in Agona Central constituency elected A+ was because Gomwa Central elected A+ is because he came to them and said, listen, this is the things that we believe are challenges, and he said most of them are farmers, right? Farming is the main thing there. A+, do you have galamsey problems in your no. Okay. So farming is the main thing, and I believe things about education. I mean, when the issue of the U.S. election came and people said, why did Trump win? It came down to people's response. The exit poll says that two things: one is the economy, two is the borders, and they think that is the person who could help them solve that, and they rejected the others and chose him. So people think about what will be most important for them, and I believe that a bigger constituencies, any of these constituencies where the let's say the creative art people are coming from, their needs are beyond just creative arts. But of course, we also have to understand that the party that won the election had in its manifesto things that it says it would do for that sector, and our interest is that these people would help for those things to be done, even though they represent their people. And so it is good that for every sector you would have people who represent. I believe people who are Greek professionals would like to see people in of their kind in parliament, because then they would understand the issues when issues about Greek policies, laws and things come. I believe people in mining would understand that they need people who understand things. So we all sit here and talk about galamsey, and all that, but we may not properly understand the things that will help for us to keep those. But if people who are in that space, most of them find themselves in parliament, it will help when issues of that come. And so to the extent that these people have been elected, we believe that they would help shape up whatever policies or laws or decisions that are made for that sector. And we would therefore not reduce our expectation. We'll hope that they help, that the things that have been put in the manifesto to implement would be done. President Mahama and his administration had 4 years. Bulldog mentioned 8 years, but it's 4 years for now, right?
Oh, so did I say 8 years?
Yeah, I had 8 years. For now it's 4 years, right?
He has 4 years.
Yes. Oh, but the administration has 8. Then be the non-performing party. They know yet come.
Where's the F coming from?
Oh, non-performing party, NPP.
Oh, okay.
That's what it stands for. Non-performing. Yeah.
Okay. So I think he has 4 years, and I believe this manifesto was if you like, was put for that. I mean, Ghanaians, give me the opportunity for me to come first. If after that I satisfy you, there will be somewhat. I mean, President Mahama has 4 years. I think he has one first term already, and this is 4. And we believe that he will stick to that. We'll be like other African presidents who want to change the constitution to extend their time.
I'm not sure he will do
that.
No,
I'm not sure. I mean, it hasn't crossed anybody's mind, and he won't.
Yeah, but what does the constitution say though? I like this conversation.
That
and he's not done that, has he?
So if one term is truncated,
exactly.
So that's where we're going. Charlie, So yes, I mean, just to conclude, I'm saying that yes, the people who have been elected are representing.
Please don't conclude. He was asking something.
Okay.
It was Akufo-Addo who taught us how to use the courts to do things.
Okay.
And so we are going to use the
exactly. We go for interpretation.
I think that we're tied with unanimous FC, right?
we were tied. Now we like it.
All right. So they will represent. Well, I don't think we should reduce our expectations, because that's the promise that was given, and we hope that. And as I was coming, I was listening to you mention about 10 things that you hope that will be done. I mean, even if 5 of those were done,
Yeah.
I think it will be good. It's not
Yeah.
reducing expectations. It's just
True.
making sure that this thing happen. I hope these gentlemen and ladies will help for those to happen.
Thank you, Francis Doku. Blakk Rasta. We have 6 of our own in Parliament. Does it bode well for the well-being of the industry?
Well, in another country, yes, it would have meant a lot, but in Ghana, I'm wondering how it's going to pan out. 6 of us in Parliament, it sounds good. It looks like, you can comfortably say that somebody who has the arts in his blood, no matter where you find yourself, the arts will certainly show. I mean, A+ is in there. If something about the arts come around, yes, his primary mandate is to deal with his constituency. But he has music playing in him. He has the arts inside him. It will show no matter what he does. You see, so he has the soft part or the softer part, which is the arts. It's certainly going to show. But as I said, I'm just wondering how this is going to happen in our space here in Ghana. I spoke with Baba Sadiq a day before elections, and he was confident that he was going to win. I mean, I've known Baba Sadiq from when he was not even born. He was here as my producer at Hits FM. Rudy Kwachi brought him here. Okay. And yeah, we had a very beautiful time. Very respectful, very, very honestly. Anytime I meet him, I shake his hand and I tell him that I never knew you reached this far. Because when he came in, he didn't look like somebody who had those hefty ambitions. And boom, from one stage to the other. Now, the last conversation we had that was mind-blowing was when he came to my radio station there at 3FM. And I was talking to him. In fact, we spoke for about 10 minutes and he had about 18 calls within that period. 18 calls. So we barely were not able to speak, you see. And he told me, Blakk Rasta, Charlie, as I'm going for this post, I can't afford to switch off my phone or not even answer. I can't even sleep. I answer every call, both unknown and known. And again, my car windows cannot close. I have to leave them down when I drive into the constituency. The people are so expectant of something. Everybody wants freebies. Everybody's running around you with hefty expectations. My brother, they won't even give you time to think about the creative arts. They are not going to give you time to even think about the laws that you're going to make in the Parliament House. That is the problem. So I rather sympathize with them. I have never had hope in any MP in this country. I rather sympathize with them. Baba Jamal the other day said, I think he's a Kufridia person. I don't know if he's back in Parliament or not. Akwitia, he said, see, when you come into the Ghana Parliament, the money you spend into getting yourself elected is far more than what you will get in return. So I still wonder, why do people want to go into such a space where you are tormented day and night by your constituents? 2, you don't have time to sleep. 2, thirdly, you don't even have the mind to do exactly what you want to do. So what is driving our people into the Parliament House?
The love for the people.
The love for which people that you can't even serve. Who are you serving? The people are on your case every day calling you. Ras Mubarak ventured into the thing. He called me the other day and said, Charlie Blakk, in my constituency, people even called me for bulbs that are dead in their homes. That's what Ras Mubarak told me. He told me a gentleman came to him, an old man. He said he wanted to do a business. And he said, okay, I can partner you with this business. It looks good. What is the percentage you're going to give to me? And the man said, I will go and come back. He went out and told the constituents that this is a very wicked guy. He brought a business plan. And instead of helping him do the business, he rather wanted to rip him off because he asked for a percentage. People are ready for freebies. Take, go and eat. So a space like that, my prayer is that A+ and the rest will be able to change the narrative in their constituencies so that they are not seen as money bags. Because the day you stop giving them their freebies, that is the end. How can you think? What are you going to do in the Parliament House? Anytime your phone rings, you are shivering. Is another person going to tell me to attend a funeral or a wedding?
When you can't go empty-handed.
What time do you have for yourself to think? So they just walk through the Parliament House, come back, look for another mandate to walk through it again, and they keep walking through, doing absolutely nothing. They actually become, in fact, a white elephant. They become a rubber stamp of this executive. They are only there to vote for e-levy, unfortunately. But with the independent candidates, I want to believe that they have a chance to do something different. They might lose the next elections because they want to change the narrative. But it's better to lose an election in pride than to win it in falsehood. Yeah.
Blakk Rasta sermon. Or Kanyamiasam.
Yeah, Charlie.
Chief Moment.
Yeah, we need to take it from where Rasta left off.
Yeah.
You know, when you go to exercise your franchise, you're voting for two people.
Okay.
You're voting for the president and you're voting for the parliamentary candidate. Between the president and the parliamentary candidate, the person who is closest to you is the parliamentary candidate. So the person that you have the most expectation of is the parliamentary candidate. So this thing is a tale as old as time, that ordinarily our parliamentarians are not supposed to be development agents. They are supposed to be legislators. They are supposed to go to parliament and enact laws for all of us. But you can't go to your constituents and promise them that you'll be a good legislator. You can never win parliament, because for them, they are casting their vote for you because they want to see an improvement in their life. So they are holding you responsible even more than local government, because at the end of the day, there's an MC, there's a DC, there's an assemblyman. There are government structures who are given the resources that we are supposed to hold accountable. But for us, because we vote for our parliamentary candidate, because we exercise that franchise, we hold them responsible. Even for educated people, they go like, we don't see our parliamentarian around. Well, we're supposed to see him in parliament. He's supposed to be in the committees. He's supposed to be scrutinizing the laws, the bills, the things the government wants to do, right? So maybe it's about time for us to reconceptualize the role of our parliamentary candidates, to be in sync with the reality of our condition, to see that in practice the parliamentary candidate or the parliamentarian has become a development agent in the constituency. So how then do we empower him or her to even do more? Because so far the only thing the state will give you is the MP
Common Fund.
Yeah, the MP's Common Fund, right? Maybe we should relook at it. Maybe the parliamentarian should be the head of the local government, something in the region. Because the only way in the constituency, the only way we can overcome this, however, though, is if development accelerates across the country. Because as people are poor, they will tend to demand. But if development goes high and people are employed and they can take care of themselves, they can buy their own bulbs, they can finance their own funeral, then they are more interested in what the parliamentarian is doing. Like when you go to developed countries, they are writing to their parliamentarians, trying to get them to represent their point of view about social issues, political issues, right? But for as long as the majority of our people are still poor, we are still an underdeveloped country, and people are not making ends meet, this problem is going to perpetuate. And the pressure is going to be there. So it becomes a chicken and egg situation. And so when the parliamentarians also go into parliament, because they have invested so much and because they keep investing in their constituents, and the parliamentary salary is not enough, then they must also find ways and means. That is why it's an open secret in this country that if you want certain bills passed, you have to grease the palm of the parliamentarians. In fact, that's where they get some significant resource. So the government to come and say, hey, this bill must pass, so gay, and I mean, allegedly, so that I'm not I'm not dragged to the unanimous FC. Allegedly, so maybe we have to take a hard look at our development structure. We have to take a hard look at the role of the parliamentarian, and once we are reforming our constitution, if the people say that the parliamentarian is an agent of development, then let us back that parliamentarian with the state apparatus to be able to have more impact on the community. Having said that, because you have a question about our expectations for the creatives entering parliament. I mean, I don't have any lofty expectations. Like everyone has said, we all know what they are going to do, and it will not take one parliamentarian, 2 or 3 or 5 parliamentarians to completely change the fortunes of creatives in this country, especially when they are not even the executive, they are parliamentarians. However, for me, what this tells me is that it is part of a trend that we've been seeing, at least since 2012. We've been saying that there's greater activism, there is greater visibility for issues of the creative, sector. There's greater momentum. So from President Mohammed's time all the way to Akufo-Addo's time. And one thing that we have to admit in this government is that at least one of the sectors that we can favorably say they have done well would be in the creative or the tourism sector. If for nothing at all, the Ghana, what is it? The year of return activation,
beyond the return,
further enhanced brand Ghana. And that's something we should talk about, how people can actually leverage, because I have seen the benefit of brand Ghana. You go somewhere internationally, we are from Ghana, there's a certain level of respect that people are called, and reception that people are called, that you can leverage. So I feel that this government has done well in further adding to that brand Ghana visibility, further, providing a platform for creative arts issues to be topical. So it's for us to now take it a notch higher. So President Muhammad started, Akufo-Addo continued, President Akufo-Addo continued. Now he has to take it a notch higher. And so having these people, for me, is part of a greater, awakening within the creative space. And one important thing I want to say is that being a creative is not just about advocating for the rights of creativity. It's even your thinking approach to problem solving. Because we've been doing the same things over and over again. If a creative sits in cabinet and an issue comes, is there a different perspective he can bring to that issue that can have a better impact, on the wider economy and the wider society? So it's even the mindset of that creative, leveraging that kind of thinking. Because if you're an engineer, you have a way you are thinking. If you have a medical doctor, you have a way you are thinking. If you're an agricultural person, there's a way you are thinking. If you're a creative, there's also a way your mind is wired. How can we harness that creative thinking abilities to address some of the feeding problems that we face in this country? So I wish them well, and for me, I'm just excited that at least it gives the sector greater visibility, but what we make out of it will depend on the largest government and how we all can push this government to even do better than the previous government in the creative and the tourism space. And of course, more creative. I think I would love to see Blakk Rasta in Parliament, right?
For the second time.
Functions don't go in Parliament. If we can find the money for his campaign.
He should go back to Parliament for the second time.
Oh, why? He's been there. No, that was not on the floor.
All right, thank you.
And I think that's actually going to inspire. What Baba Sadiq, what A Plus is going to do is that it's actually going to inspire more creatives to take the bold step. And I won't be surprised to see more people from the creative industry venturing into government. And eventually we'll have a creative person as president. And you hope that at that point there will be even greater urgency on the issues of the creative economy. So it's part of a wave that is, not a green wave, the creative wave that is building.
All right, thank you, Chief Mumin. This one says, congrats to you, A+. Baba Sadiq. We are rooting for Francis Dohu to go to Parliament.
Shout we need to mention it.
Shout to my brothers Bulldog and Blakk Rasta. This one from Chris Coney. Chris Coney sent in this one. Now let me get to A+. Yeah, we've spoken a lot about all these issues. Now let's start from where you wanted to come in, and then we proceed to the creative people expecting you to go and fight for them in Parliament.
Okay, so during my campaign, I made it very clear that I'm sick and tired of this delegate system that the political parties run, where you have two candidates. Blakk Rasta is running against
Ras Mubarak.
No, this
Philip Nye.
And you know that Blakk Rasta is the best candidate, but because Philip Nye has all the money, he pays, and then he gets into Parliament and is part of the legislature, and you know that Blakk Rasta is the one capable of. And the sad part is that you get into Parliament, and the law is that you have to select a certain number of MPs amongst those people. So whether they are the best or not, it doesn't matter. Once they are there, then they come and run the country. And it all comes from one delegate who was sitting somewhere waiting for 500 Ghana, 1,000 Ghana. They don't care. So what I wanted to do was to create a template that will work for Chief Moment tomorrow, where he can just get up, walk into a constituency, doesn't need any of these delegates, contest an election, and he wins. And now that I have won, I would want to see a lot more of everybody from all walks of life try to get into parliament through that route. So that, and unfortunately, we have 4 independent candidates now. 4 in parliament. Yes, and I would like to see more. I am not going to be there for more than 2 terms, and I've developed this template so that other people who want to come there will benefit from it. It's something that I want people to benefit, and what I do is what will make Blakk Rasta's constituents decide to vote for him. What I do in the next 4 years. So I'm going to. This is not just the end. Now that I have won, I must be able to change the lives of my people. That is not my core mandate, but it has become part of it, because we don't vote for the DCs. The DCs are the ones that are supposed to vote for to bring development to their districts. However, because they are not campaigning and they are not making promises, nobody's looking at them, but they are the ones that you have to look at. But we are campaigning, and the people are asking you questions, and like we said, you can never go and tell people that I'm going to make the best laws for Ghana, so vote for me. Their expectations are well beyond that, and so
we don't vote for the DCs because when we are in opposition, we promise that when we come, we will vote, and then when we come to government, we forget
exactly.
About it, you know.
If the DCs were out there campaigning and making promises of building and getting this that summer common fund, and this is what we are going to use it for, so then the attention will shift to them. But we are the ones that are making the promises, and it has become the norm. So I want people to go in there. I'm going to do something very significant in Gomua, which will not only make people vote for independent candidates because they bypass the delegate system, but because everybody will say this is what A+ did in Gomua, and then it will make other the voter know that, look, if you vote for independent candidates, this is what they are capable of doing. So now I don't have to destroy Chief's political ambition or Francis' political ambition. I have to work. I have to leave a legacy. I have to do something different, so that when Blakk Rasta is going to contest or Bulldog is going to contest, people will say, "Oh, A+ or core independent, and what he didn't do anything." They should say, "Look at what the independent candidate did. Let's go for another independent." So now everybody must support. It is going to benefit everybody.
Thank you, A+.
Just so that you are mindful that there are a lot of big screens in parliaments. A+, I'm saying on a lighter note, just so that you know, there are a lot of big screens in parliament. Yes, so that you are not caught in a...
there are a lot of
big screens, LED screens.
Yeah.
Screens in
yeah, so that he's not caught in...
Yes. Oh, you guys are not getting the joke.
We're not getting the joke.
The joke is flying over.
So there are a lot of big screens, TV screens, big ones in parliament.
Yes.
That you can project different things on.
No, still,
I am getting it now. Don't mind him.
You're getting it.
This joke. This joke. When we close, when we close, I will tell you. He wants to start trouble.
Okay. Kwame, can I add a small point to
that will be your closing remarks. Then.
Okay, then when you come, then. I just wanted to add something to what Moment said. Right?
Yeah, please reserve that for your closing remarks, please. Okay. A+. So your response to the creative people who are saying, "Oh, yeah, we're happy you're going."
We can't have a proverb that unuya wonyum kruma udimpa, and I say unuya a couple when we abwa yar for some days a proverb like that. So
and I unuya de jakwa yendinya.
Exactly. Yeah, so so like we have said, our core mandate is to go and make laws for the country, and we once we are there, anything that affects the creative or the creative arts industry positively, anything that improves upon it, we are fortunate to have all of us there, and so we are going to expedite it, ensure that those who are done, the creatives will never. They apart from Bulldog getting up and saying, "Look, what are we doing?" in their own capacities, the creative arts industry, like Musica, would never call and say, we hear you are contesting and we are supporting your bid, and this is what we want you to do for us when you win. I think that Musica should call Baba Sadiq when he was contesting. Musica should have called him, myself, and say, listen, we are happy about your bid. This is what, because in America you find that unions are supporting Donald Trump because this is what they are, the association, rifle, whatever, they are coming and they are sponsoring your campaign because they want this. Our people don't even know what they want.
It's also because they didn't want to be seen as being political, being, sided, one-sided.
Politics affects everybody in this country, including Jehovah's Witness. They'll go to free SHS. They'll go to free healthcare. So you can't say you don't want to be part or you don't want to be seen. You understand? It's
exactly.
Yes, it's a way of life. So they have to have a conscious. They have to make a conscious effort in putting our people in there, and this is what the LGBT people have done so well.
Okay.
From so many years, when we were sitting there and just talking about we don't want gay, they were going to school. They were pushing their people into the judiciary, into the into other professions.
Yeah.
So before anybody could say Jack, they were in the Supreme Court and they were making the laws. So now they make laws that benefit them, and you can't do anything about it. And this is how countries are run. You use the law. So we have to get our people in there. It has to be a conscious effort that we are making to get anything apart from that. You can't just be sitting somewhere and expect that Baba Sadiq or A+ goes into a contest win. Then all of a sudden it should come for the creatives, and if you don't come and support it, that's why I said you did not put me there.
Good. A+, Francis Doku. Your closing remarks. So I'm going round. I'll end with A+ again. Okay, so 1.5 minutes, please.
Oh, 1.5 minutes.
We have commercials and
okay, all right, sure. I think. I mean, this has been a very, very interesting discussion. We are happy that people we know are in Parliament, have been elected to Parliament. As we've all said around the table, they're not there necessarily just to represent the sector, but they're being there would help when issues come, when policies are being made, discussions are being had from the perspective of the creative arts, and I hope that they live up to it. A+ is saying that he's going only for 2 terms. Charlie Power is sweet though. If you go, if you go away, it's sweet. You say, okay, let me try it the 3rd time and see, and all that, but. I believe that he's a man of his words, and he's shown, over the years that he could. Right. But I think, Kwame, most important for me is that, and when Moment mentioned it, that's what I wanted to touch on, that there are certain things. I mean, this government has done some good things. For me, the year of the return, and because, I go around, I meet people from different countries. Yeah. It was the biggest marketing activation for a destination in Africa for I believe about 25 years. I mean, from the days that we used to do the Pana Fest till now, I think this is the 2019 was the biggest marketing activation. We criticized some aspects of how it could have been done better, but it has really sold our destination. And so for me, this is something that I believe that a new government shouldn't throw away completely. The initiatives that came out of the year of the return, like the December NGH and other things, need to be enhanced further. The event organizers, the artists and all that need to be resourced properly so they can all play a role in. What we didn't do well, in my view, was that when the people come in December, we don't give them any opportunity to experience the country beyond just the parties in Accra, and all that. We need to enhance that, in my view. And so some of the things that have been done well, not just in tourism and creative arts, but across, different industries. I think that it would help President Mahama and his administration if they continued and did them better. Exactly. So wish them the best.
Thank you, Francis Doku. Bullgod.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me speak to you as an NDC member.
Yep.
What should we expect from the party? From your government, sorry.
Okay, so so let me say this, right? I know His Excellency John Mahama personally, and he's a man of his word. Yeah. So everything he said, he will do. For me, I'm really interested in the Operation Recover All Loot. is very important. I think one of the things we need to understand is that as a nation, we don't hold the keys to our own destination, because other external factors determine how we live against this dollar, whatever. I don't know how we got here, and I'm hoping that we will move. Like this present administration came saying, "Oh, we're moving from taxation to nothing
to production."
Yeah. I don't know how we got here at whatever point in our lives, but we're here, and I think the mandate that has been given to us as the NDC is to try and recover all the loot.
Okay.
And I'm very interested in that. Everything else will fall in place when that is done. I think that even if we dedicated our 4 years in doing just that, that would be a huge legacy for His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. You understand? Because honestly, it will be very, very difficult to come and say, "Oh, we're reducing fuel prices. We're looking at Kenke that is 7 cities. We're bringing it to 5." This is impossible. Things will just go up. People should just expect that. Look, we should be tightening our belt and making sure that these people that got us here. I believe that we should build a special zoo, not a prison, zoo for them. Then we'll showcase them that if you want to be corrupt, this is where we put you. In the morning, we'll put you in the sun, in the cages. People will go on excursion and go and look at that's what we should be doing to these people. You understand? Some of us will make sure or ensure that is done, because
that would be against the Constitution.
What do you mean by that? What I mean is, you see, we're going to go use the laws. We're not just going to go and do anything. We're using the laws. To start with, as a public officer, you owe us an explanation. Just by that, coming to solicit our votes to go out there, go and stand in our stead to collect money, and no. That alone.
But the prisons are there, so why establish? No.
We should know. You see, they cannot be bundled up with the ones that are there already. There has to be another, because I can count on my fingertips how many they are. If we had 110 ministers and they are all corrupt, they should be there. A specialized, and they shouldn't be in cages. So when we go in their boxer shorts, that was the minister of roads who spent.
And you are willing to be part of the.
I am telling you, because we have worked tirelessly. What's the word? Tirelessly. To get here, and I think we should be people of our words. And I know my boss. He will do the right thing.
It is finished.
It is done. Agena.
Blakk Rasta, if you met Mahama right now and you were to advise him, what would you say?
I will tell him the same things I told him before he came into power.
Okay.
I will tell him that, Mr. President, you have a unique opportunity to write your own legacy and heritage. Make sure that you look at Ghana first. But I just wanted to say something small about what Bulldog said. He has said something that is more than just monumental, but it looks like it just blew away. When you read Macbeth, you see there was this king called King Duncan, very good king, but a greedy man called Macbeth came in and killed him and took over his position, kind of. And when the triumvirate came in trying to take out this greedy guy called Macbeth, they fought. He put up a fight, and when he was about to be defeated, you know what he said? He said, "Well, I don't want to fight anymore. I am done." And they said, "Okay, we are not going to kill you. We are not going to do anything. We'll put you in a cage, and on that cage we shall write, 'Here comes the traitor.' We shall take you out into town for everyone to see you, hoot at you." It happened to the second king of Belgium, Leopold II, when he came to Africa and killed a lot of people because of rubber. When he died, they threw him on the streets of Belgium for people to hoot at him. But in our country, the moment you die, you become a saint, even if you were like that guy, forestry guy, something John. That guy who stole our lands. What's his name again? Something John. They should exhume his body and put him out for us to hoot at him. What Bulldog said is so deep, my brother. I don't support animals put in zoos. They are animal prisons. It is against human rights and animal rights. So I don't go to zoos. I don't take my children to zoos. I believe that dirty politicians should be put in those zoos. Like Bulldog said, when we see them like that, we will all run away from corruption. It's a fact. Read Macbeth and you will get to see how some people felt they had some pride. They didn't want to go into a certain space, but because of their doings, they needed to get in there.
Thank you, Blakk Rasta. Chief Mumin. Okay.
To add to what he said, just 2 weeks ago, yeah, the majority leader, Afenyo Marcus, was fighting over that word. Call me majority. Hey, he was talking to one of your presenters. You don't respect it. Ha! Charlie.
Uncle Francis, 2 seconds.
I just want to add that.
Yeah.
You know, this is a lawful society. We have a constitution and
you see, that's why he will not win his seat. No, that's why he won't win his seat. That's why you will not win your seat.
I think they are making suggestions.
Yeah, but I'm saying that we shouldn't leave here with the impression
people
that
have been
people will be.
They want the constitution to be amended to that.
Until then,
win election can get lifestyle.
Thank you very much, Chief Mumin. Chief, 1.5 minutes, please.
Beware the ites of much. I think that I mean, maybe we should have another conversation just generally about the
we will have more
transition and
we will have more
expectations on the government.
Yeah,
and
we will have more.
I think that there's palpable anger, you know, in the system, and it's a hopeful moment, but it's actually a very dangerous moment as well, because our democracy is hanging on a very thin thread. And even Mahama hinted at it during the campaign. And if this government fails abysmally, that's an incoming government fails abysmally, we don't know what the future of our country would be. So it is important that, you know, the new administration enters government with, you know, a lot of sobriety, you know, thinking about what they can do to really bring back, to materialize the hope. Right now the hope is there, but then how do you live up to expectations? And then I want to hope that this government would help, you know us in a way that can restore some kind of hope. But it's a double-edged sword. You know, this majority that is given to this government, the NDC incoming government, is a double-edged sword. They can either use it positively or they can, you know, use it against themselves, right? So the media will be here, you know, to hold the government accountable. People like independent candidate like A+, we can be sure he's going to ignite chaos in parliament, you know, if he wants to. That is if things are not going right, and the rest of us would be here to observe and add our words to it. But one of the things that the government must immediately take off their minds is that idea of doing a TV station where those things.
No, that one, I think they should rethink that.
Any government shouldn't be interested in doing TV stations or music streaming. Those, I don't know, there are creatives who advise them on that, but that's absolutely ridiculous.
One day we beg.
Absolutely ridiculous. No, please.
Thank you.
Our government shouldn't get into the business of these things, you know, and I'm sure we'll discuss more policy. And one of the things they must immediately take away is, you know, beyond the return as an activation. Good. As a policy, I've always maintained that it's policy behind the scenes. What do we do after the return? But now I'm excited about the Blakk Star experience as a new activation, which will be a good successor to year of return activation.
Good one there, Chief Mumin. Let me come to A+, his final words to his constituents or to Ghanaians before we take leave.
Okay, thank you.
I'm actually one of your constituents.
You are not, please. Please continue.
Amadia.
Yeah.
And so
what? on the 30th of June, and the 30th of June, 1982.
Yeah.
Some people were thinking along the lines of putting people in cages and all, and so they adopted judges and murdered them. Before that, the generals were executed. You go to Liberia, Samodo took power.
That's what they call kangaroo courts.
And murdered all the ex ministers and executed all of them. We are still here. So we have to look at what do we do.
Okay.
Are we going to use the same approach, or we are going to come up with something new? Rawlings did everything, corruption is worse. So what do we do? I think that as young people, we have to come together and look at it.
Okay.
What do we do to end this? Are we still going to go out there, get people and shoot them? Is it going to change? Are we going to put them in cages? Is it going to change? Or are we going to put our system in such a way that the system itself is the dictator, which prevents you from engaging in some of these practices.
Great.
All of these are things that are
Great.
Hey, no, you know why? No.
Thank you very much.
No, that is an MP speaking. We are still on the street, so we'll be street to go talk.
Thank
And
you.
if he was with us, he will say the same thing, because you see, the system itself has a problem.
That's why we have to
Exactly.
fix it.
We'll be back ready to talk about that.